Hey everybody, I'm JimClassic, and you are watching Geekin It. And, well, San Diego Comic-Con has now come and gone, and as promised, I have a follow-up video for the Hasbro announcement of the Legend of Zelda action figures. Now, this isn't going to be a long review. I'm just going to talk about some of the toys, my initial thoughts, and maybe a few other toys after that, because I was following San Diego Comic-Con a little bit this weekend as best I could, and I was following some of the other toy announcements, and I will be at least talking about them a little bit. But the main focus is The Legend of Zelda. Well, much to my surprise, I guess a little bit, Hasbro decided to go with the Tears of the Kingdom trio instead of the Ocarina of Time trio. Now, I'm not complaining. I thought Ocarina of Time was going to be a no-brainer because of the 30th anniversary of the game, the Switch 2 remake. The idea just seemed like a big marketing strategy to just go with Ocarina of Time. But aside from Ganondorf, which I recently did a Figma review on that, I don't have the Figma versions of Link or Zelda, or at least not that Link and not that Zelda. Regardless, let's just look at some of the pictures that Hasbro provided for the Comic-Con. And here's Link in the package, the Heroes of Hyrule collection. So, even though it's just Link, Zelda, and Ganondorf, I'm hoping we are going to see other characters. You know, I would not mind seeing like Impa, seeing some bosses like Moblins, Bokoblins, Octoroks, little things, like little monsters and stuff. I am hoping that Hasbro will eventually do Zelda characters from other timelines. I think that might be a no-brainer. But then again, you're going to have Hasbro making Link, Zelda, and Ganondorf over and over and over again. I really hope they vary it up a little bit, and they also decide to break away to the monsters. You're going to have monsters. You got to have something for Link to fight. Anyway, so yeah, the Tears of the Kingdom Link, got the Master Sword, he's got the cape, the shield, he's got the Zonai force-wielding hand, that's kind of cool. And it looks like it's, well, hopefully if this figure is going to be anything like the final product, it looks like it's very posable, looks like almost as posable as a Figma figure. You got the Zonai hand right there. That is definitely an interesting version of Link, having that semi-prosthetic hand, that magical prosthetic hand thing. So that is an interesting way to start things off. We have Zelda here, and it looks like Hasbro is going to keep to a simple package design, which is fine. We don't need anything too busy, nothing too crazy. But the package does reflect that of Tears of the Kingdom with like the Zonai swirls and stuff like that. Maybe if they do other timelines, you'll see other details on the boxes to break up the monotony. But again, here's Zelda. Now she's got those like soft plastic robes, so I can't imagine this toy is going to be all that posable. I was watching the Hasbro video on YouTube. Someone was interviewing them, and they were saying, "Oh, how posable she is." I'm like, she's got 3 layers of soft plastic. She's going to be posable. She's not going to be posable. I will be shocked if that Zelda is posable above the knees. But we'll have to wait and see. Heck, I could be wrong. I've eaten my words before. I could be wrong again. I have toys with this kind of soft plastic robes, and they're very rarely ever posable. But the Master Sword, the broken, corrupted Master Sword, does look good. Of course, it's a nice accessory for Zelda to have. I find the eyes to be very expressive, but that look on her mouth, I don't know, something weird about the sculpting there on her mouth. I can't quite place it, but it's kind of like kind of a look. I maybe I'm reading it wrong, but especially there with the lighting and the shadows. Let's see if we can zoom in. I don't know. There's something about that Mona Lisa like smile, which I'm not sure if I can articulate the words properly, but there is just something weird about that mouth. Anyway, very nice cinematic images right there from Hasbro. Kudos to the photographer. And then there's another one holding up the sword. I guess she's in the Lost Woods or something. And then looks like the whole figure there. Zelda, the sword, a grippy hand, and then that's fine. So, Zelda doesn't need a lot of accessories. I mean, maybe for other Zeldas, maybe like a magic accessory for the hand. But you know, this Zelda isn't particularly magical. So what else? What else does she need? And here we have Ganondorf. Now, this looks like he is going to be a larger figure than Link and Zelda, as shown in the preview image, the introductory image. He is definitely going to tower over them both. And yeah, I mean, I guess the real question is, do I buy Heroes of Hyrule Ganondorf since I already own the Figma version? I can already guess. I can already call it now. The Figma version is probably going to be a better toy than this one. This might be the one I rough around with. Now that might be it. The Figma Ganondorf is the one you keep on the shelf. The Hasbro Ganondorf is the one that you play with your kids or something, you know? Now, I will say this. Again, I watched the Hasbro video, and they were saying, oh, we have a new tooling thing, and they were talking about how if remember the Figma version of this had the robe that dangled down off of the left arm, and then if you position the arm down, you could hinge the robe down. You could hinge the cuff of the robe down. And this Ganondorf has the exact same type of tooling. So these guys, Hasbro, took a look at Figma and said, yes, let's do that, but on a budget. I mean, it's going to be on a budget. This is probably going to be like... Oh, no, wait, actually, no. I already have these figures pre-ordered, so I already know. He's like going to be $40. He's going to be like $40. And look at this. This looks exactly like the Figma version. Well, not exactly. I would say very close to the Figma version, except the amount of accessories is fewer. He doesn't have the bow and the spear. He just has the sword and the sheath and the grab for power hand kind of a thing. But I mean, it looks good. It looks good for what it is, and I'm definitely going to buy it. I have all three of the figures already pre-ordered. I mean, it's not going to be available until May of 2027, so we got some time to wait on this. But actually, you can even see the hinge right there at the cuff. That's the hinge for when you're positioning the arm, so this is not flowing up and down. Now, what happened with the Figma version that I'm hoping does not happen here, the golden tassel broke on me. I don't know if you remember that from the video, but I did say this golden tassel area is very thin plastic, it's going to break, and the Figma one, it broke on me. Mind you, I was a little bit clumsy with it, but not a lot. Now, I don't know if Hasbro will do a better job with this area, but I guess time will have to tell. Yeah, it's got a good face sculpt. I'm not sure I like those eyes, though. He looks a little sleepy. This is like sleepy Ganondorf. He doesn't look angry or power hungry or mad with rage. It just looks like he's a little sleepy. Look at him. Look at sleepy Ganondorf. And again, kudos to the photographer of Hasbro. Good job. More the accessories again. Well, that's it. That's it with the Legend of Zelda, the Heroes of Hyrule line with Hasbro. I am looking forward to it, and I hope they're going to be good. As when they come out in May of 2027, I'll be getting them. I will be reviewing them. We'll see how they are. Now, I figured let's just move on a little bit. I was a little interested in the Jada Toys Mega Man line. I don't know if you remember, but I think it was the end of 2024. I think it was the end of 2024 that I did some of the Wave 1 figures, like Mega Man, Cut Man, Ice Man, and I think Fireman. But yeah, looks like we got some new ones here. You know, Guts Man, Bomb Man, Proto Man. Yeah, Bomb Man looks kind of funny. He looks like a duck with a mohawk, and he's very amusing. You got Rush. Rush could be fun. I like Rush. Definitely looking forward to Proto Man. I've always liked him. I remember him in the cartoon show, even though the cartoon show wasn't very good. But I did like Proto Man. I like the way his look. I like his vibe, and it looks like they've got a cloth cape right there, or a scarf, a cloth scarf. I'm sorry, but yeah, cool Proto Man. Guts Man looks pretty cool. He's gonna be a higher price point. He's gonna be bigger. Him and Bomb Man are gonna be higher price points because of their perceived size. Oh yeah, okay. I found this interesting. Hasbro / Kenner has the real Ghostbusters toy line. Not that they're doing a whole heck of a lot with it. I mean, it's all like a niche market at this point with Ghostbusters, like extra niche. But they are releasing Kenner versions of Janine and Louis Tully, and it looks like they come with the old style Ghostbusters proton packs and some reused ghosts. So yeah, I'm cool with this, and this might be something I might want to get. I still have my old Kenner real Ghostbusters toys. I got the Firehouse and the Ecto-1. I try to put them out in display when I can during Halloween season, if I can. Last year I wasn't able to because things are crazy right now, but maybe this year I might be able to do it. But sure, I'm cool with this. I mean, I don't know how this is going to be sold yet. I haven't been following that closely. I don't know if this is maybe this is probably off of Hasbro Pulse. I'll have to take a look. Now, I'm going to guess these two are about $50. Again, I'm guessing. I could be wrong. I don't know. I haven't fully decided if I'm buying them yet, but I might. But yeah, Louis Tully and Janine Melnitz. Now, I do have an old Kenner Louis Tully. He was in a jumpsuit, but I think he came with, like, it was like in a maroon jumpsuit, and his weapon, his ghost catching thing, was like some kind of like a harness that had like this big crane that could catch ghosts from a distance. It was a weird looking thing, but he was proton pack compatible. Now Janine, I have the Janine figure from Real Ghostbusters, but it was the fright features, like you move up the arms and her eyes and her mouth, like her mouth opens and her eyes bug out, and I have that version of Janine. But these are just simple, ungimmicked versions of Janine and Louis. So yeah, I would, if they're affordable, if the mood hits me, if the stars are in the right alignment, yeah, I'm probably going to buy these two. And G.I. Joe Lara Croft. Now, this was not a San Diego Comic-Con announcement. I think we've known about her for a while, but I did pre-order her. I am not the biggest G.I. Joe fan. I'm not the biggest Lara Croft fan, but I like a good crossover. And I do have some of the classified series figures, so you know what? Fine. I will get a Lara Croft figure added to my G.I. Joe collection, what little of it I have. And I should be pretty happy with it. Looks like she comes with a lot of cool accessories there. Yeah, I mean, bow and arrow, her dual pistols, extra hands, climbing gear. Looks like the other head has a headset or something, like headphones and a microphone thing, whatever that is. And the figure it looks good. What can I say? Again, I'm not the biggest G.I. Joe guy, but I do have a few figures. I have some of the classics, some of the favorites, and I'm going to add Lara Croft to that. So yeah, pretty cool. Definitely looking forward to it. That face sculpt looks really nice. And, oh, right. Sue Storm as a dominatrix. I don't know. It definitely caught me by surprise. It looks like she's paired up with a Magic the Gathering set. This is part of that crossover thing, like with the Final Fantasy cards, and I think Ninja Turtles did something with Magic the Gathering, and Marvel and Spider-Man. Well, Spider-Man is Marvel, but you know what I mean. And yeah, this is like evil Sue Storm. I think like in some alternate reality, she goes nuts. Oh, Malice. That's right, Malice. Yes, I'm sorry. I apologize. I don't know all the deep lore Marvel stuff. I have heard of Malice. And yeah, it's kind of coming back to me. Yeah, Sue Storm turns evil. I forget why, but yes, I have heard of Malice. But yeah, I mean that wicked looking face. Look at that. Here's the card. But yeah, there's the card art of her. That's a cool wicked grin there. And I like that spiked mask. That's pretty cool. So this might be a fun figure to get. I mean, if she's coming with a deck of Magic cards, I'm guessing $60 for this figure. Which, that might be a deal breaker for me, because I'm not a Magic the Gathering guy. I actually sold most of my collection last year to a guy. Not that I had a big collection, but I sold most of it to him. I kept some of my favorites, but I just didn't, never played it. But, yeah, this figure looks pretty cool. I mean, it's definitely a little risque for Hasbro. Definitely more risque for Hasbro than I'm used to seeing, even for their Legends figures. But either way, that's probably the reason why I might get it, just because I think it's stepping out of their comfort zone. Anyway, Shock Whale. I did not see this coming. Apparently it is a fan vote, and is a leader class Shockwave that turns into a whale. This is just the prototype images. This is the only ones that I've seen so far. Maybe it has to do with the new comic book series when he was like talking about the beauty of the Earth's oceans and all these blue whales are swimming around him, and I don't know. I don't know if that's any relation to the Energon universe, but I might have to buy Shock Whale. This might be a purchase for me. Unironically, yeah, Shock Whale. I might be buying him. Anyway, and this guy, Shredhead. Unfortunately, I haven't caught up in the comics that much, so I haven't encountered Shredhead yet. I am very, very, very behind in my comic book reading. I remember seeing him on the cover. He kind of looks like an old G2 Laser Rod character, but I think he's an original to this comic book series. And yeah, cool. I like seeing more original comic book characters in toy form. So even though I don't know who Shredhead is, I might buy him anyway. 86 Studio Series Red Alert, a little bit more G-Run accurate. Maybe I'll buy him, maybe I won't. I've got the Earthrise one. This might be a pass for me, but for those of you who don't have Earthrise Red Alert, this might be your time to buy. I don't know. Depends if the tariffs. I mean, by the time he comes out, maybe he'll be like, $30 instead of $27. But let's not get into that just yet. Another one of Shredhead. Okay. Oh yeah, on that side. Now, if I remember correctly, that's Carly's van. That's what Carly's van looked like. Even though Optimus is right there. Maybe it's not. Either way, that is wicked. Wicked 80s right there. Oh yeah, okay, we got some more combiners. I mean, this is for Nexus. These two are for Nexus Prime, and then Alpha Bravo. He is the aerial bot ringer, and G2 Wild Rider. Even though I could have sworn Legacy already did a G2 Wild Rider, but maybe I'm wrong about that. I have at least 3 or 4 of the other Legacy G2 Stunticons. There's no Motormaster yet, I don't think. I'm pretty sure no G2 Motormaster yet, I don't think, but. Yeah, okay, G2 Wild Rider. I mean, I'm gonna end up getting him at least. I'm probably not gonna get these guys, but I will likely get G2 Wild Rider. And back to Red Alert. Yeah, and back to Red Alert. So yeah, okay, that's been my look. That's been my look at the Legend of Zelda figures, the Heroes of Hyrule from Hasbro, and just a few sneak peeks of what San Diego Comic-Con had for, the G.I. Joe crossover. Or some of the new Transformers coming out, even Mega Man figures. So yeah, I'm actually looking forward to some of these. Now again, there is the issue with the tariffs. I hate to bring that up constantly, but it is a thing. It is an issue. We'll see how prices look in 2027. We'll see if anything goes up. We'll see if I'm buying. I might want a lot of these figures, but I also might end up passing on a lot of them. But we'll have to see. Anyway, tell me, are there any action figures that you're looking forward to in the upcoming toy seasons coming out? I've already told you some of the things that I'm interested in, so tell me in the comment section. Anyway, I'm JimClassic. You have been watching Geekin It, and I will see you guys later. Take care, everybody.